What can music do for us? And what kind of role does play a hi-fi system? Welcome to Lehmannaudio. Great to have you here. We can close our eyes, but we cannot shut off our ears. Our ears are our most important sensory organs. Hearing influences our whole life, and music has an incredibly great power. It can calm us or energize us, or even drive us to peak performance during sports. Music can calm us down, make us anxious, or make us happy. But there's one thing music never does. It never leaves us cold. We will never be indifferent to it. So does music make us healthy then? More and more studies come to the conclusion that music not only influences our emotional well-being, but even our physical well-being. Scientists have found that music increases the level of antibodies and boosts the number of cells that protect us against bacteria. Unfortunately, this does not work with viruses so far. Music has shown positive effects in treating conditions like dementia, ADHD, Parkinson's, and even schizophrenia. Listen to music triggers the same effects in the brain like food, sport, drugs, or sex. Music releases dopamine, which is a key part of the brain's reward system. It leads to a release of happiness hormones, and stress hormones are put down. So there's hardly any easier or more enjoyable way to do something for your body, mind, and soul than to put on a pair of headphones every now and then, or simply listen to a good stereo system. Just try it out. When does music reach our soul? Sure, almost everyone is listening to music and likes that, but the question is, who will get goosebumps while listening to music? Music can connect body and soul, and goosebumps are just one of 4 different signs that the music really has touched you and reaches you in full. Other signs are deep relaxation, even until falling asleep, the urge to move, like tapping along or playing air guitar, or even the outbreak of tears. Goosebumps and all the other signs of the connection between your body and your soul only occur when everything that's in the music and in the recording will reach you. This also includes the emotions of the musicians and the music. Once you have ever experienced this kind of happiness, you will never want to live without it. Music can be as fulfilling as a yoga class without the movement, the soreness, and the effort. Why is MP3 not really music? You're much less likely to get goosebumps while listening to MP3 files. Sure, people often say you can't really hear the difference because your brain just fills in the missing pieces. The problem with this is that the brain just has to do that. This means this dumb grey hardware between our ears, the brain, really has to do all the calculation work like a computer in overclocking mode and has to fill in everything that's left out. That is simply exhausting. And if you're busy thinking, even unconsciously, it will keep you away from the goosebumps. If you're busy thinking, it will also be difficult to let go and relax in other situations. So if your romantic playlist didn't turn out as intended, it might just not be the titles, but the data format. Technology Part 1. 2 is more than 1. We have 2 ears for a reason. Thousands of years ago, we have been the easy prey for the saber-toothed tigers when we could not hear the direction where he was approaching from. 2 ears have always been the very basic requirement to analyze directional information. Today, a proper stereo system with 2 speakers or a good pair of headphones are the minimum requirements for real listening pleasure. With a good stereo system, you can hear the depth and width of the soundstage. You can hear where the singer stands or where the drummer sits. With a simple mono loudspeaker in the size of a beer can, you can certainly lift up your mood, but you will never be able to enjoy music as intended. It will never reach the richness, depth, and immersive experience that music brings to life, and which will bring you goosebumps. Technology Part 2. It goes without saying that we have 2 ears and therefore need 2 speakers. So it's almost funny when a German review site listed the possibility of pairing 2 Bluetooth speakers as a downside because of the higher power consumption. Not to mention the fact that Bluetooth usually reduces transferred data, which brings you even more away from the goosebumps experience. Technology Part 3. Yogurt pots do not make music. If your setup consists two very small tiny speakers with a thing called subwoofer for the low frequency, this will most likely also cost you the goosebumps, because you simply cannot cheat on the physics. You need a certain size of the drivers to have that quality that brings you goosebumps. There are no little things, or nothing is too unimportant. Hi-fi means high fidelity, which is faithful music reproduction. Anything that degrades the signal in any way, that adds anything or leaves away anything, can really cost you the delightful music experience you could have with a proper stereo system. Anything that messes with the signal, like poor file formats or bad speakers or messy interconnects, can cost the music its magic, and this means it can cost you the goosebumps. Being a total beginner or an amateur, you can't even imagine what that all means. Real experts have the absolute decisive advantage here. And this brings us to the next point. Touching music reproduction requires expertise. There are people who dedicate their entire career to make music reproduction as low loss as possible. There are manufacturers of high-end audio equipment, and I'm one of them, and there are those specialist retailers who can handle all the equipment and get the best possible result for you. This kind of advice is personal, it's a matter of trust, so please choose your hi-fi dealer wisely. Don't be afraid to lean on their expertise. It will be worth it. Stand by your standards, but please be consistent here. You buy clothes of your favorite brand, expensive shoes, cars, watches and smartphones, and then you get yourself a kitchen radio from the coffee shop or even the supermarket for something as important as music, because after all, music comes out of it? No, it does not. There's a big gap. It is the same like the €1 sausage on the €1,000 grill. It simply does not fit. It doesn't have anything to do with real enjoyment. Sure, there's something cooking, but you don't do it justice. Treat yourself to a music system that is really good for you. You will see that it will be worth it. Promise.